back in January when I began talking about it. I'm so pleased to welcome Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. Good morning, Governor.
You, good to be with you this morning. Thank you.
Well, when the cry went up among elected and appointed officials, Avengers Assemble, I really didn't expect that it would be you, Amy Acton, your health director, and the awesome Marla Berkowitz who would emerge. I mean, are you surprised by the fact you become a model of leadership for the country?
Yeah, we're just focusing on what we need to do every day, and of course, as you may know, Amy Acton hails from the same area that you do, the Mahoning Valley. So
Yep.
she's been just a superstar, and I'm just so glad that we have her. She was actually my last cabinet person to be picked because I knew that we needed. Certainly had no idea this was coming, but I wanted someone really strong who could not only run the health department but really speak to people about health issues. And
I,
she's just super.
I'm just praying she's not from Howland High School. I don't think she's a Kennedy graduate. I'm just praying she's not from Howland High School.
Yeah, I don't
Governor,
know. See, I don't know. I don't. I'll ask her today, though. I'll see her in a few minutes. I'll ask
okay.
her.
Governor, what I want to talk to you about is not the actual specifics of the pandemic. I want to talk to you about leadership because what you've done in the last month has impressed the country, as has many other governors. It's not exclusive to you, but you have been a real model of this. Would you tell us and thereby inform other people in leadership positions in private and public sector how you go about your day and what your goals are to deal with a crisis that is exploding?
Well, our goal has been to try to get ahead of this, and you can't really get ahead of it. But what I've done, Hugh, is I assembled a group of 14 doctors in Ohio, but we all, as consultants, early on in this. Dr. Acton is just great. She also has other connections around the country. So I've been on the phone with other doctors, other modelers, people who model these pandemics, and that's really where we've gotten our information. And the message that kept coming back to us, particularly from the people who model these pandemics, is you have to move early. And if you don't move early, you're going to kill a lot more people. And that's just so what we do every single day is to try to, do everything we can to make the right decisions. Because the example that I've given, and it's not original to me because it's a part of our history, and that is St. Louis in 1918. This is 102 years ago. This was the pandemic. This has killed so many people around the world. And St. Louis, they got it right. They moved within 2 days of actually knowing what was going on. They shut everything down. They shut the churches down. There's a kind of interesting side note. The bishop was upset apparently with the mayor, but eventually everybody got on the same page and they got what needed to be done. Philadelphia, on the other hand, they got it, but they got it 2 weeks later. In other words, they figured out what to do 2 weeks later, just 2 weeks. And the death rate in Philadelphia was dramatically higher than it was in St. Louis. So it's drilling down on the facts. And I'll tell you, Hugh, you asked about leadership. I can just tell you two things. People ask me, how have you made these decisions? I said, look, I've been in government for 40-some years, and I've made plenty of mistakes. And the mistakes that I have made have been primarily, as I go back, and I got my own list in my own head. I won't share it, but I know, where I've made mistakes. But they're caused generally by not having enough facts, by not consulting the right people, by not drilling down, by not asking enough questions. And so what I resolved to do in this is just every day keep asking the question. What else can we do? Are there other things we need to be doing? Every morning when I walk in with our team, that's my first question. What else can we be doing? And getting the facts from the experts was very important. The other thing that I've found in my career is that when I had the facts and I didn't trust my gut, but basically everybody was kind of moving the other way, and I thought, well, gee, how can I be, why am I the outlier here? When I didn't trust my gut, I made a mistake. And so those are kind of my two guiding principles. Drill down, get all the facts you can get, keep asking questions, never be satisfied. And then after you do that, trust your instinct. Just go with your instinct. And my instinct throughout this has been we got to move faster. And so I'm literally going to walk in the office in a couple of minutes, and I'm going to be going right back at that. I'm going to say, okay, what else do we need to be doing? What are we not doing? So that has been important. I also felt, Hugh, early on that I needed to be a communicator to the people of Ohio. That part of my job was to tell them the truth, tell them, what we all had to do, and so we've never tried to sugarcoat this. We've never tried to cause panic. My experience in life is that when people understand what's ahead, they won't panic. They'll deal with it. It's the unexpected when they don't know what's coming. It's the something behind the curtain that really gets our worst fears. So telling people what's ahead, telling people how bad this is, telling them what we know, telling them what we don't know, has been what we've tried to do. So every day at 2:00, we do a press conference, and it's not just me. Today, my wife Fran's going to come in, talk about some of the things that people can do when they're holed up in their house with the kids, and she's going to talk about the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which Ohio is a part of, where kids get 0 to 5 get free books in the mail once a month. And I'm going to also probably bring in today Lori Chris, who handles our mental health issues. She's going to talk a little bit about the mental health side of this, because this is a time sometimes when people get depressed. People don't have the social interaction they had. So how do you compensate for that? So every day at 2:00, we're doing this type of information to the public, and it's kind of crazy. I walked in with my granddaughter Caroline and Izzy last night, and we've stopped restaurants, but we allow carryout, and so we wanted to kind of promote carryout, and we also wanted to get some Irish food, so we went to a pub and did a carryout in Dublin. I just happened to see a couple people there, and they said, "Hey, we're watching your show at 2:00 every afternoon." It's kind of crazy. It's like, really? What? Why? What are you doing? But people are looking at that as a way to get the latest update, and it's important for me to have credibility. I can't sugarcoat it. I got to tell them the truth every single day.
Governor, people as varied as my friend Aaron Bear and my online friend McNeil, who's great, they love that you are over communicating and under complaining. It's a model of over communicating and under complaining that I think people could replicate, and you're going to deploy your secret weapon in Mrs. DeWine. But I found out yesterday when CNN actually did a story on something called WeConnectRecovery.com. I didn't know. I hadn't thought about the people in recovery who need meetings and can't get to meetings.
Well, think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, think about just the traditional AA model where some people go every other day. I mean, to AA. Now, how are they going to get by now? And so, everybody's got to kind of figure out how we connect. And, it's an old-fashioned tool, but it's the telephone. I mean, telephone is not a bad way to stay in touch with your grandmother, not a bad way to stay in touch with your buddy on AA who's trying to, you and he are trying to stay sober. And so we also have other tools. We text now, we do the internet, but people staying connected is a really important part of what has to occur now.
You might let people know about, I just found about yesterday on CNN, WeConnectRecovery.com. Now, Governor, let me ask you about two other things, because I think you can model this as well. We need to flatten the virus curve. Everybody knows what that means now. I think we also have to flatten the cruelty curve online, and we need to flatten the partisan curve online. Do you agree or disagree? And are you seeing that in the Buckeye State?
Yeah, we really do. I mean, we're in this. We got to look at this as a war. We've been attacked, and we have to all pull together. And so these are tough times. They're going to stay tough times for a significant period of time. And so, yeah, we're all in this together. Is my message every day. We're all in this together, and that's important. Hey, Hugh, give me that name again, because I'm going to talk to my director of mental health about the issue. Tell me what you just read there.
It's www.weconnectrecovery.com. And I watched them on CNN yesterday, and they were terrific. Weconnectrecovery.com. I said, it had never occurred to me. I'm not a meetings guy. I'm not in rehab. I'm not doing that. But it just never occurred to me that people who need to go, especially they said people in their first year of recovery and first 30 days of recovery, they've got to get to these meetings. Well, they can't go. That's a problem. I hadn't even thought of it. But I'm sure you've got the people in place. Now, let me close on a sort of parochial note. I know you're a Reds fan and you sold out to the Bengals long ago, but you know your Browns fans and your Indian fans are dying here, and the Cavs fans, and et cetera, and all of the NC2A teams. You've just struck the right tone, which is, we'll get back to that. And just a word about that. Have you gotten any blowback at all for canceling all these events and encouraging everyone? High school basketball, high school track. Tell me about that.
Look, absolutely. I mean, 2 weeks ago we canceled the Arnold in Columbus, and we agonized over that decision. Now it looks like a no-brainer. I think one of the most difficult things was when we said, for our high school basketball that we didn't stop it. Actually, they ended up stopping it, but we said, no spectators except family members. And, and then when it gets canceled, you just think, hey, these kids have spent, many, many years dreaming of going to the state championship. In college, I live near Dayton, University of Dayton Flyers, who've had just this
you bet
epic year, and it stopped. I mean, every Dayton Flyer fan thinks they would have won the national championship. Certainly they would have at least got the Final Four, and that's just gone. And it's just like it breaks your heart. But again, as I told people yesterday, St. Patrick's Day, I said, look, here's our goal. Our goal is for all of us to be here next St. Patrick's Day, and we'll have plenty of time to go to our Irish pubs and drink Guinness beer and whatever we want to do. My wife did compensate, Fran. She made, when I got home last night, she had soda bread. Oh, my God, Irish soda bread. It was like to die for.
Well, Governor, may the road rise up to meet you and the wind be at your back. Keep making us Buckeyes proud, and come back soon and tell us what's going on in the great state of Ohio.
All right, Hugh. Thank you very much. Good talking with you.
Thank you, Governor.